The Amazon CEO threw a wedding so big, even Versailles looks like a budget Airbnb.
But here is a big question. Does any of it actually make the marriage stronger? It was extravagant, like multi-million-dollar everything. She wore couture, he got a yacht, the cake had gold dust, and maybe even its own security guard.
It was the wedding of the century. Celebrities everywhere, cameras flashing. It looked like the start of forever.
But actually, Gino, it was just a very expensive beginning, right?
Yeah, that's right. And nobody really talks about what happens after the big event, after big day. After music fades, after DJ starts packing up, and just like that, the crowd disappears.
Yeah, the dress goes in a bag, the makeup comes off, and the cake gone in 20 minutes. The photos, they take 6 hours, and the marriage, that shows up the next day, the next morning.
It's just the two of you now. No crowds, no filters. The party is over.
Just a real life. The pictures are posted on Instagram or Facebook. The house is quiet, and that's when the marriage begins. And who knows, maybe 5 months later, they quietly unfollow each other.
They will unfollow each other on Instagram. No big fights, no fireworks. But the problem is, it was just two people who spent way more time planning a wedding than building a life.
And I hope that's not the case for these two. But sadly, it's a trend. People pour everything into the wedding and almost nothing into the marriage. They plan the event, not the partnership.
But the fact is, our marriage does not need more glitters. It needs more guts.
Gino, did you know the statistic? The average American wedding now costs over $30,000, and the average marriage?
About
Just-
eight years,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Just over 8 years.
Yeah, that's not very good return on the investment, right? On another side, it's very sad because the divorce lawyers getting all the profits from those situations.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tossing confetti is a way easier than staying committed. I have watched a lot of weddings in my life.
We've seen lots of
As a
them.
pastor's wife, you were a pastor in a church,
Yeah.
hundreds of weddings, and as a professional vocal coach, dozens more. And as a woman,
And as a woman, you were probably quietly thinking about our own wedding. You were comparing our wedding. Oh, that was a day.
yes.
Oh my.
Do you remember, Gino, our wedding?
How can I forget that day on May 10th? I'm not gonna tell you the year, but
Yeah.
it was on May
Many,
10th.
many years ago.
Many years ago. That's right.
It was one of a kind. This is the only picture actually we have from our wedding.
I love this.
One.
picture.
Taken by a government official during the Soviet ceremony. Back then, we did not have a camera. We could not afford a photographer. No wedding photo, no wedding albums for us, no perfectly lit portraits, just this one grainy photo and two people who meant it when they said yes. Because our wedding was not a production, it was not a runway, but it was real. Hey,
Absolutely real.
and
yeah.
it was the beginning of everything, right?
It was the beginning of something beautiful. And now, more than 30 years later, we are still together. We are still building beautiful life together. I'm so happy that you are my wife. And I always knew I'm gonna be happy.
Yes.
So I did not care about big wedding. Maybe I should care.
Yeah, but back then,
Yeah,
we
couldn't do
could
it.
not afford it.
No.
We were born and raised in the Soviet Union, so in our culture, we did not do church weddings or vows. Still, it was all about a huge party. In Ukraine, we have
Yeah, party was very
we
important.
celebrate with lots of food, music, and dancing. Hey,
Absolutely. In the villages where I grew up, and you were raised in a town.
Yes.
So I was a village boy. So in the villages, it's like the whole village comes together, 200-300 people,
Yeah.
and it goes for 3 days.
And it's all about the bride and the dress. In my case, the dress was interesting. I still think about this dress sometimes, far from Schiaparelli design, right? And I wonder how would I look in that couture dress. Gold corset, hand embroidery, 6 figures of surreal fashion. Probably I would not be able to breathe well, but I would sparkle like a billionaire bride.
Absolutely.
When a bride to be is choosing her dress, it's all about the dress, not the guy. She's already found him. It's that one moment, that one day, when she wants to feel unforgettable. So she dives in, hundreds of magazines, dozens of shops, late night searches, Pinterest boards, scrolling sales like it's full-time job. And somehow the dress always costs more than the couple can actually afford. My dress? I did not get that luxury. Honestly, I did not even let myself dream about it. I knew we could not afford anything
Oh,
special.
baby, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
And I did not want to walk into the boutiques just to walk out heartbroken. And I did not want to put a pressure on you. So my first stop and my only stop was the clearance rack of that tiny local shop.
I remember it's like there's this small store, 2-3 feet by 3 feet, or 2 meters by 3 meters, and there was like 5 dresses, and you picked up the cheapest one because we did not have any money, so that's the only thing you could
That's
afford.
true. A plain, casual white dress, hem just above the knees.
It was so short. I loved it.
Yeah, but probably nobody else wanted it. So, yes, it was not couture, but it was mine. And I wore it for us, Gino.
Absolutely, baby. I can tell you this. You could wear a paper bag. I would still marry you. In my case, I borrowed a suit from another guy. The sleeves were too short. It had a smell of aftershave and panic. I was so nervous.
Oh
My
my God.
hands were sweating, and I think I forgot how to breathe. And here we are. You are in a very short dress. I am in a suit, not my size, but we were so happy. I remember we left the ceremony in a taxi. It was a yellow
Okay,
taxi.
no limo, no convertible,
No.
no grand staircase, no slow motion violin moment, just us, you and me, 2 kids.
Yeah.
It
It
is
was
nothing but a promise, yeah?
absolutely. No photographer, just one official photo, which was taken by this boring clerk who actually said, "Hey, don't
Yeah.
smile. This
Yeah.
is not the Hollywood."
One day, when I finally lose enough of this middle-aged belly, you are laughing, yes? I think we should go and try on some outrageous designer gowns.
We should fly to Italy and
Just for fun.
try to do the wedding 2.0 in our lives.
No pressure, no budget, and no clearance rack this time.
That's gonna be a revenge shopping, baby.
Exactly. Are you in?
Of course I mean. If we could have afford a wedding back then, of course we would have done it differently. More flowers, a real venue, maybe even halfway decent cake, who knows. But here's the truth. That would not have changed our marriage. And some people are asking, why even get married if you cannot afford it? Why not to wait until you have enough money for the dress, for perfect plan? We did not get married because we were religious. We were atheists. We did not care about the Bible. We were not thinking about, moral standards in our lives.
We were already living together. Remember, we just knew somehow we wanted to start our relationship on a foundation of commitment.
And marriage gave us that, the foundation. Even before we came to faith, it was something solid in our lives. So I think we had it inside of us. Later, when we became Christians, we realized how significant that moment was to stand up,
Yeah.
to declare love,
Mhm.
and to have witnesses. If you only have, even if you only have two witnesses,
Because 4 people at our official ceremony, remember? Us and 2 witnesses. That was it.
but every time we remembered that taxi ride, heading to our tiny celebration in love, broke, and already building something beautiful.
But who knows, maybe that simple wedding, that humble, nothing fancy, no budget beginning was the perfect start for our marriage. Who knows?
Look, we are not against weddings. We love weddings. We've held elite hundreds of them. We've cried, we prayed, even danced with you, baby, at some of them, right?
Yeah.
But can we be honest? You can say,
Yes, some people spend more time choosing a font for their invitation cards than learning how to have a hard conversation. They would hire a dance coach but won't invest in a mentor couple. They would pick a custom scent for their wedding favors but never ask, hey, how do we handle conflict when it's not cute anymore?
we've been married for over 30 years. And in the beginning, it's not about forever. It's about just the next day. How to get to the next day. How to get through next fight between each other. The next forgiveness between each other. The next time you choose to stay no matter what. And
Because it's a choice. The wedding is for the guests, but marriage is for warriors. And for 30 plus years, we are fighting for our marriage, yes? Because your Instagram won't hold your hand during a miscarriage.
And your cake designer won't walk you through a bankruptcy. And the DJ, he won't be there when your spouse is laying in a hospital bed. And you don't know if she or he is gonna make it to the next day.
If all you build was a party, we did not have a party, but if you would have a party, that would not help us to survive our storm.
I heard this phrase, wedding is a celebration, marriage is a construction zone or construction project. It's not pretty sometimes. Sometimes it's dirty.
Yeah, but if you build the friendship, if you build the covenant, the deep well of love, then you've got something that no florist, no DJ, no venue, no Pinterest board can create.
Absolutely. So, if you are planning a wedding, make sure you plan the marriage more. Put more into the forever than into the day. We are not saying, skip the celebration. The celebration is so important, but don't just get confused it with the foundation. Celebration versus foundation. Foundation is more important than the celebration.
Totally. And if your wedding was already a disaster like ours, there is hope because the marriage can still be beautiful, and we are great proof of that.
Vera, we help couples rebuild. That's what we do. We host intensives, retreats, coaching. We've seen marriages come back from betrayal, burnout, silence, and separations. So if you are watching this and wondering today, can I fix my marriage?
Yes, the answer is yes.
Absolutely yes.
But you will need more than memories. You will need a map.
We will help you. Check out the links below if you're ready.
We will meet you where you are, and we will walk you toward where you could be. Because you don't need a perfect wedding. All you need is real marriage.